Hello, guys. Good morning. Hello, hello.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Mr. Davy. How are you doing? Good morning, Mr. Cuella.
Good teacher.
Hello, hello. Diana, Miss Jacqueline, how are you? Are you ready for the class? Yes?
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. How is Do you remember the last class, guys? I know that we um didn't have class last week, but do you remember the last topic that we were studying? Do you remember?
Past perfect, teacher.
Past perfect. Excellent, Mr. David. So, today we're going to study the past perfect continuous. Okay? So, this will be like the new topic for this day. Okay? So, let me share, guys, that information with you. Past perfect continuous. Okay? That's for you. Can you see that, Mr. Davy? Can you see the screen that I'm sharing? Yes? That's perfect continuous?
Yes, teacher.
Excellent. Nice, thank you. Okay, guys, let's start with this. There we have past perfect continuous. It says, past perfect continuous tense indicates a past action that started in the past and continued to happen after another action and time in the past. Namely, the past perfect continuous tense tells us how long the action had continued. The duration of the actions is emphasized more in this tense, right? So, what happened here, guys? That is an action that started in the past, obviously, but continued to happen after another action, always in the past. Okay? So, in that way, we're going to use the past perfect continuous, right? And we're going to emphasize more what? The duration of the action, right? So it says past perfect continuous uses. First, we have something that started in the past and continue up to another action or time in the past. The past perfect continuous tell us how long, just like the present perfect continuous. But this time the action continues up to a point in the past rather than the present. Remember, an action starts in the past and continue but in the past always, right? So that is the first we can say the first use of the past perfect continuous. For example, you can say, she had been working at the company for a year when she met James, right? So there you have. First, she had been working. There you have the structure in past perfect continuous. You have the subject, then you're going to have the auxiliary in this case that will be in past, right? Had, and also the verb to be in past participle. That would be like the second. We can say the second auxiliary, right? So she had been, and also the main verb. This would be work. This would be the main verb. You need to add ing. She had been working at the company for a year when she met James, right? So in that case, you're going to use that. So for a year when she met James, right? So second, Mr. Davy, can you help me reading, please? The number two.
Okay, teacher. Number two, something that finisher used before another event in the past. This is usually used to show a result at a time in the past.
Okay, so something that finished just before another event, right? In that way, also, we're going to use the past perfect continuous. For example, the jar was wet. You have there an event. The jar was wet. It had been raining. That's another event, right? That will be like the result of the first event. So the jar was wet. It had been raining. There you're using the past perfect continuous in that case. Thank you. So we have also the affirmative, the structure. First of all, we're going to have the subject, then the auxiliary verb in past. This will be like the first auxiliary, and in past, that will be had, no have, had. Then we can say the second auxiliary, that will be being, that is be in past participle. Then the main verb plus ing, and also the complement of that sentence. For example, he had been taking bath since morning. So there you have an example there. First, which is the subject there? He. Then we're going to have the auxiliary verb had. Then being that is we can say the second auxiliary and the main verb take with ing, and obviously the complement. He had been taking bath since morning. Also, you have another one. This is a little bit longer. Many of the students had been participating in sports for 3 years. Look at this one. What is the subject of this sentence? Many of the students, right? So we can change it if we want with they had been participating, right? But in this case, you have many of the students, then the first auxiliary in past, that is had, and being that is the verb to be in past participle, the main verb that is participate with ing. Don't forget the ing there. In sports for 3 years, right? Also the negative form. For the negative form, you are going to need first the subject, then the auxiliary verb in past, had. Then after the first auxiliary, you're going to use the word not. That will be the negative word there. Then you need the verb to be in past participle, that is the second auxiliary, right? And the main verb with ing plus the complement. So don't forget that you're going to use the negative word after the first auxiliary. Examples. Girls had not been clapping and dancing for 2 hours. First, subject, girls. Then you have the first auxiliary. The were not, that will be the negative form there. And also the verb to be in past participle, the main verb. We can have two those. So clapping and dancing and the complement. That will be that, right? Also, Peter had not been riding a horse for 2 years. So there you have first the subject, Peter, then had not, that will be after that the first auxiliary, then the second auxiliary, and the main verb with ing. So Peter had not been riding a horse for 2 years. Okay? What about the interrogative form? Also, we have interrogatives. If we're going to have like just no question, first of all, we're going to use the first auxiliary, that is had, right? So, had plus the subject plus been plus verb plus ing plus complement plus the question mark, right? So in that case, you have auxiliary verb in past, had, then the subject, the second auxiliary, the verb with ing, the complement, and the question mark. Okay, so example. Had Linda been waiting for a long time? Remember that this is a yes no question, right? So you must answer this in a short way. We can say yes, she had, or no, she hadn't. So in this case, look at the question, right? First, you have what? The first auxiliary, then the subject, the second auxiliary, the main verb with ing, and the complement in question mark. So, had Linda been waiting for a long time? The answer, if it is affirmative, yes. Then the subject, we're talking about Linda, right? So we can replace it with the pronoun she and had. That's the first auxiliary. Yes, she had, right? Or had Linda been waiting for a long time? No, she hadn't, right? So there you have those. Had Linda been waiting for a long time? Yes, she had, or no, she hadn't. That would be for, we can say yes, no questions, right? Also, we can ask WH questions with past perfect continuous. First of all, you're going to have the WH words. If you remember, some of WH words we can say what, which, how, when, etc. Right? Plus had, that will be the first auxiliary, plus the subject, plus been, that will be the second auxiliary, and the main verb with ing, the complement, and question mark. So we can say, where had he been eating? Look, first we have what? The WH word, then the first auxiliary had, then the subject he, the second auxiliary, and also you have the main verb with ing. Where had he been eating? Remember that you must answer this question right in a complete way. For example, he had been eating in his favorite restaurant. That is a complete answer, right? That would be like an affirmative sentence. So, where had he been eating? He had been eating in his favorite restaurant. That would be like the answer for that kind of questions, right? So, I don't know, guys, if you have any questions or comments about that. Is it clear for you? If you cannot use your microphone, Carla and Diana, maybe you can help us in the chat. That will be great, okay? So, guys, if you don't have questions, we're going to do the first exercise. Let's complete the lines with one of the options. There you have that. Let me sum up. Okay. It says, I have been using that phone for a year. You have there two options. When I bought it, that will be the first one, or you have the other one, when it stopped working. Right? So, I had been using that phone for a year. Which one do you think that we need to choose? Which could be the correct one for you? So I had been using that phone for a year. So you can say when it stopped working, right? So that will be the correct, we can say, complement for that sentence. I had been using that phone for a year when it stopped working. Yes? So you're going to choose the correct, we can say the correct option there, right? So let me do this. Okay, so you're going to have, guys, around 2 minutes for you to choose the correct answer. Then we're going to check them together, okay? So, if you can do it on the chat, Diana and Carla, that would be great, okay? So, Mr. Davy and Mr. Miguel, please work on this exercise. Don't forget that if you have any question, just raise your hand and I will help you, okay? So, work. Choose the correct answer, which could be the correct complement for that sentence. Okay, so work. 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so work on them, guys. Okay, guys, are you ready? Which could be the second one? There you have George had been phoning Kate. There you have two options: before he crashed or several times. Which one do you think it will be the correct answer there? Yes, Mr. David?
I think
Before he crashed. Excellent. That will be that one. So George, right, had been phoning Kate. Remember that there you have first an action and then the other one that continues, right? So before he crashed, right? Excellent, Mr. David. That will be that one. What about the second one? You have here, because I'd been exercising all afternoon. This is like if you say I had, right? That's almost the same, but that is the contraction. So I have enough of it. Or you can say I had enough of it, which could be I have enough of it or I had enough of it. Which one do you think it will be the answer there? Mr. David, Mr. Cuellar, which could be? Or even Diana or Carla?
I have lots of
The
it.
second one, yes, Mr. Davy, right? In past, right? I had enough of it because I'll been exercising all afternoon. Excellent. Very good, Mr. Davy. That's the correct one. Let's see this one. Sarah had been going out with me until she changed her job, or you have another option there, after she changed her job. Which would be the answer? Sarah had been going out with me. Which one do you think it will be the answer, Mr. Davy? You're the only one here, right? So, which one, Mr. Davy?
After she changed her job,
After?
after
Okay. So, I guess that will be the first one because it says Sarah had been going out, right? Until that will be like a specific word. Until she changed her job. He couldn't do that action again because she changed her job, right? So that would be this one, Mr. David. Sarah had been going out with me until she changed her job, right? That would be the answer. Okay, excellent. Now, let's continue, Mr. David. We have here, we've been writing, that is like you say, we had been writing. We have three tests or tests before lunch. Which could be the answer there? You have three tests or tests, just without the number. You, mister. Uh-huh.
Free test teacher.
Three tests? It could be right, but we can say it like in a general idea, so we can say tests, right? We have been writing tests before lunch, right? We can say it in general, not like in a specific amount or something, right? So test, okay? Excellent. Let's see. They had been decorating their bedroom. The paint was everywhere. You know the paint, right? Or it was ready to use again. You have, we can say two options there. They have been decorating. Look at this information first, right? So they had been decorating their bedroom. So which could be the correct option there?
It was ready to use again, teacher.
Okay. So remember, Mr. David, that that is an action that happened before another action, right? But in the past, if you have been decorating something, it is possible, right, that the paint was everywhere, right? So that would be the answer. Oh, sorry, that would be. So they have been decorating their bedroom. The paint was everywhere, right? That would be that. Do this one. I had been eating vegetarian meals when I gave up 3 times or for 3 years. This is easy, Mr. Davy, because remember that when you use, we can say the past perfect, present perfect, etc., right? You're going to use like lumps on time, right? A month or time or length of time or how long something is happening, right? So you can say for 3 years. So I've been eating vegetarian meals for 3 years when I gave up, right? Or you can say in the second one, he had been sailing on his own big ships, right? That's like the second option there, or the event. So before my dad retired, he had been sailing on big ships, right? That would be the option. First event, that would be the second event that is continuing in the past, right? Let's see this one. Somebody had been drinking my apple juice. There was nothing left. The glass was nearly empty. So in this case, somebody had been drinking my apple juice. The glass was nearly emptied, right? That would be like the other event there. And the last one, I've been chatting with my friends. You have two options there. That's why my mom was angry, or I have been chatting with my friends. That's why my mom had been angry. So in this case, we have, or we need to use this one, right? I've been chatting with my friends, right? That's an event. That's why my mom was angry, right? So that is, we can say the other one, the other event, right? Okay, so we're going to continue doing some exercise. But in this case, we're going to do it on the chat. It says, past perfect continuous. The plane landed at the airport. What had these passengers been doing before it landed? You have there are many, we can say, options or sentences. It says, Mr. Clark read a newspaper. Mrs. Clark look out of the window. Julie played with her teddy bear. Peter learned how to use his new phone. Mr. Gregson sleep. Mrs. Gregson take photos. Melanie draw pictures. Fiona and Eve talk to each other. Ben listened to Fiona and Eve. And Miss Smith, the flight attendant, delivered food to passengers. So, you need to write down, we can say sentences, right? Using the past perfect continuous. Let's do the first one together. You have there, Mr. Clark read a newspaper. So we're going to do the first one. Mr. Clark, we're going to follow the rules, the grammar structure, right? So Mr. Clark had been what? Reading a newspaper. Newspaper. Yes? So Mr. Clark had been reading a newspaper what? Before it landed. What? The plane, right? So you're going to write down sentences using the past perfect continuous. Okay? So work on them, guys. You're going to have them here. I don't know if you can see them. Yes? Okay, there you have it. Work on them. You're going to have around, we can say 5 minutes. And I want you to write down your sentences in the chat, in here, in the mid chat, right? Write them down, please. All those sentences. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sentences. So write them down here, right, in the chat. Okay, I want you to participate, guys. Try to write them down. If you can use your microphone, but you can write them down, right? So work on them. 5 minutes for you to work on them. If you have any questions or doubts, okay, guys, are you ready? I haven't seen any of your sentences. I don't know, Mr. Davy, are you here? Are you ready for that?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you tell me the second sentence? There you have there, Mrs. Clark. What? Mr. Davy?
Mrs. Clark has been
Uh-huh.
looking
Excellent.
looking out of the
Looking,
window.
looking out of, right? Out of the window. Excellent. So that would be good. Oh, that's someone to say. Okay, excellent. So, Mrs. Clark had been looking out of the window. Perfect. Excellent. What about the other one, Mr. David? Julie, what? Julie?
Julie has been
Uh-huh.
playing with her teddy bear.
Excellent. Playing with her teddy. Bird. Excellent. Very good, right? So, Julie had been playing with her teddy bear. Perfect. Let's see the other one. Peter, what? Peter
Peter has been
had been
learning how
learning, learning
to use his new phone.
how to use his new phone. Excellent. His new phone. Good. So, Peter had been learning. Oh, made a mistake here. Learning. Learning how to use his new phone. Excellent. Let's see this one. Mr. Gregson. what? Mr. Gregson
has been sleeping.
had been sleeping. Yes, sleeping. That's the other one. Had been sleeping. Excellent. Mrs. Gregson, that's her. Mrs. Gregson
Has been
had been
taking photos.
taking, yes, photos. That would be. So, Mrs. Gregson had been taking photos. Perfect. Melanie, what happened with Melanie, Mr. David?
Melon has been
Had
drawing pictures.
been drawing, yes, pictures. That would be amazing. So, Melanie had been drawing pictures. Excellent. Fiona and Eve, there you have talk to each other. Fiona and Eve, what, Mr. David?
Has been
Had been,
talking to each other.
excellent, talking to each other. That's good. Fiona and Eve had been talking to each other. Good. And the Ben, what about Ben? Mr. Davy, you have there listen to Fiona and Eve. Ben, mm-hmm.
They have been listening to Fiona and Eve.
Yes, that's Ben had been listening to. You can have Fiona and oh my bad and Eve, right? That would be. So Ben had been listening to Fiona and Eve. Good. And the last one, you have Miss Smith, the flight attendant, deliver food to the passengers. Which could be that one? Miss Smith, what?
Mr. Smith has been
Had been, yes.
the flight attendant.
Okay, so Mrs.
Has
Smith
been
had been
the
delivering, delivering, that would be delivering. We can say food, I guess. Yeah, food to the passenger, right? Food to the passengers. Good. So, Mrs. Smith had been delivering food to the passengers. Excellent. Very good. I don't know, Mr. Davy, if you have any questions or comments about past perfect continuous. Do you have questions? Or is everything clear, Mr. Davy?
it's clear teacher, no questions.
You don't have questions, comments? Okay.